Influencer marketing. This is such a buzz term amongst online marketers these days. And what I've come to realize is that maybe a lot of people don't actually know what it means, how to utilize it for your online business, and what strategies and tactics you can use to best attract influencers to your brand. Influencer marketing is an amazing and really effective strategy in efforts to get customers to your online store faster, cheaper, and with more conversion success. So the real question is influencer marketing right for your business? The short answer, yes, 100%. So in this video, I will be going into detail about what influencer marketing is, what types of influencers are best for your online store, how to attract them, various types of campaigns you can engage with for an influencer, and the best ways to track your conversions and return on investment. So, if you're ready to become an influencer marketing master and utilize this really effective marketing strategy for your online store, stick around and keep watching. The buzz term influencer marketing has floated around the online marketing space for years now. The term influencer was originally created back when individuals on Instagram started developing large followings that in turn allowed them to have a lot of influence on the purchasing power of their audience. So, what is an influencer? An influencer is someone who has the power to affect purchasing decisions of others based on his or her authority, knowledge, and trust within their audience. Now, the audience I'm clearly referring to in terms of influencers is followers. One common and major misconception is that an influencer must have a certain number of followers to be able to positively affect your store, when in reality, this is so not the case. Influencers come in a large scale of followings online, and what's really important to pay attention to is if their audience truly trusts the messaging that they push forward on their platforms. Influencers come in all different shapes and sizes, on all different types of social platforms, with all different numbers of followings and engagements. So, how do we categorize this? Typically, I like to put influencers into 4 major categories. Nano influencers are anyone with a following less than 10,000 on their desired social platform. This includes YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Contrary to popular belief, nano influencers usually have a lot of persuasion over their audience. The size of their audience can be affected by many different factors, such as they're new to their social space or the niche itself is not very common online. Whatever the reason, these followers or the audience of this social media influencer typically really trust the individual that they're following. Nano influencers are great to incorporate into your influencer marketing campaigns, as their audience would typically have high conversions. The next tier of influencers, and probably the most common, are micro-influencers. Micro-influencers fall within the criteria of anywhere between 10,000 to 150,000 followers on their desired social platforms. These influencers typically make their full-time living off of social media and have audiences that are very well in tune to the brand that they've created. Not only that, it's very clear by the size of their following that they have been doing this for a while and are very good at curating content and marketing campaigns directly to their audience for the highest conversions. Micro-influencers are typically on the cheaper side when it comes to campaign pricing, and yet at the same time have well-trusted audiences that will more than likely convert to sales on your dropshipping store. Macro influencers fall in the category of anyone above 150,000 followers to right under 1 million. Macro influencers are usually individuals such as celebrities or online personalities that have a very extensive range of knowledge within their niche. These individuals are usually the experts and are typically harder to obtain in terms of campaign marketing because they're usually more expensive and probably have a lot of other brands reaching out to them for partnerships. Now, I don't say this to scare you or to say that they are not beneficial to your brand. I'm just saying that they might be harder to obtain over time, and you might be paying way too much money to work with these types of influencers. That's not to say that their content isn't extremely valuable and they are very good at what they do. But right now, I'm talking about ways for you to get individuals to your store, not how we can pay influencers for their campaigns. The last tier of influencers that typically dropshippers will stay away from when it comes to influencer marketing is mega influencers. These individuals are anyone over 1 million followers on social media and also are more than likely celebrities or very large name within their industry. Again, we'll probably stay away from this tier of influencers when it comes to marketing our campaigns to online personalities. But at the same time, it's very important to understand the different tiers of influencers and how we can utilize each one of them to our dropshipping store at some point. Now, it's very important to understand the different types of influencers you could be potentially working with in terms of their following, their content type, and what platform they fit on best. But it's also very important to understand the type of influencer campaigns that most of these online personalities are willing to engage with. For the sake of a dropshipping store, there are 4 different types of online campaigns that I would suggest you present to influencers. They are paid campaigns, affiliate marketing, giveaways, and gifting. Each one of these campaigns require a different level of attention, budget, and planning. So let's get into it. Paid campaigns are the most common type of influencer marketing strategy. In its most simplest form, you are paying an influencer upfront to post about your product or your store on their social media platforms. This is typically very straightforward, usually consists of some type of contract so that the deliverables are clear and laid out. And it usually happens within a timely manner, and you have a lot of control as the store owner about the messaging that they present to their audience. Paid campaigns do, however, require payment upfront for influencers. So if you're working with a limited budget, this might not be the direction you'd like to go. And not only that, depending on the type of tier of influencers you're looking at, the pricing of these campaigns will change. A typical rule of thumb is that most influencers will charge anywhere between $10 to $25 per 1,000 followers on their platform for a single post. Again, this sometimes takes a little bit of negotiation between you and the influencer, but that's about a ballpark I would suggest proposing when it comes to presenting a campaign to an influencer. Another thing to keep in mind when it comes to paid campaigns with influencers is that this is not just a one-off. The idea behind utilizing influencer marketing is that you are flooding the social media feeds of your ideal audience with the concept of your product. So just utilizing one influencer usually will not get you the conversion rate that you're asking for. I'd suggest casting anywhere between 10 and 40 influencers per paid campaign concept. This is very important to keep in mind when it comes to coming up with the budget that best works for your store in terms of influencer marketing. If you're just starting out in the dropshipping space or just starting out in the influencer marketing space, I can understand that this whole concept of paid campaigns is kind of hard to trust in, specifically without proof of concept. Which is why I usually recommend the next type of campaigns to new dropshippers, which is affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing, to its simplistic core, is the concept of paying a percentage of commission per item sold by an influencer. Affiliate marketing is really great because there's no cost up front to you as the store owner. You're basically giving a unique link to each and every one of the influencers you're casting in your campaigns, and based on the number of sales that they generate for you, you're paying them out accordingly. Typically, influencers are a little more hesitant to engage in affiliate marketing-based campaigns, as it's no confirmed amount of income for the influencer. And after all, these influencers make money off of sponsorships and advertising on their platforms. So when it comes to approaching an influencer about an affiliate marketing campaign, you also need to provide some level of proof of concept or case study of other influencers who have made money off of a campaign similar to this for your dropshipping store. The downside to affiliate marketing is that you have less control over the narrative that these influencers are spinning about your product. Obviously, it's in the best interest of the influencer to spin an appropriate narrative about your product so that they will be making sales. But since there's no contract in place or no upfront payment, it's kind of out of your hands for how they decide to talk about your product and how frequently they talk about your product. To them, it's as much as I post the link is how much money I will make. However, affiliate marketing is a great way to test the waters when it comes to influencers. What's also really cool about this concept is that you can very easily track where your product fits best in terms of these influencer niches. You have the information right there with each of their unique links, considering you have to pay each and every one of them out. So if you're trying to play around with influencer marketing and see what works best for you, this is a great way to collect data about what types of influencers best present your product to their audience. The next type of influencer marketing campaign is giveaways. Now, giveaways require a lot of planning and a lot of intricate details on the dropshipper's end in order to attract the influencer to being a part of this campaign. Typically what this means is that you will employ a certain number of influencers, anywhere between 10 to maybe 30, who all are going to post about a giveaway about your product. These are still typically paid campaigns and that you still have to front a slight amount of cost to your influencer, but they're usually more interested in these types of campaigns because it promotes social growth of both their account and your accounts. How a giveaway would work is that influencer A would post about the giveaway that they are hosting with Dropshipping Store A. In order for someone to enter the giveaway, they will need to follow and like both accounts to be valid to win this product. This becomes free advertising for you, as now you have many people looking at your product, even though they think they're going to get it for free. And when they don't get it for free, they're probably still going to be interested in purchasing your product later on. Giveaways are a great way to promote social growth of your platforms so that you can in turn rely less on influencers and more on your own social media going forward. The last of the 4 influencer marketing strategies that we will touch on today is gifting. Now, people get very, very upset when I decide to discuss gifting, as they don't think it's a very lucrative way of influencer marketing. But we're talking about how you can target your ideal customer no matter how new or seasoned of a dropshipper you are. And gifting typically is a really great way to test the waters with influencer marketing, specifically if you're a new dropshipper. The concept of gifting basically means that you will gift free product to influencers in exchange for a social media post of their choosing. This is typically very attractive for skincare or beauty brands and clothing brands, because if you're giving them a product that they can use and benefit from, they're more likely to post about it, even if they're not getting paid for it. Similar to paid campaigns, affiliate marketing, and giveaways, you cannot just employ one influencer by gifting them a product and hoping that it will change the conversion rate or the sales in your store. This is a very long, extensive process of gifting many products to many influencers. And by many, I mean around 40. So for each product you would like to bring attention to on your dropshipping store, you should expect to be giving away free product to at least 40 influencers. The downside here is that there's no contract, there's no payment, there's nothing in place that guarantees this influencer will post about your product. But this is also a great way to get feedback from influencers about how your products translate well online. In past influencer gifting campaigns that I've conducted, I typically ask for an Instagram story or one TikTok, or maybe even just a link on Twitter. Something very simple, something very small, but I want them to be honest about what they think about the product, and I want them to give me feedback no matter if they post about it or not. Again, you're not guaranteed a post, but if you're more persistent with the influencer and the influencer actually likes your product, they will be more likely to post about it. All this information about the types of influencers and the different types of influencer campaigns really don't matter unless you know how to find influencers for yourself. So what are the most effective ways to find influencers within your industry niche? Well, the first and most obvious ways to find influencers are through hashtags or just simply searching. No matter the social media platform, there are easily ways to search hashtags, keywords, sentences, and terms within that social media platform. If you're searching for fitness influencers and you sell resistance bands, it's probably a good idea to go search on TikTok or Instagram with the hashtag resistance band workout. That way you will find many different individuals who actively post about using resistance bands in workouts. If you're selling children's products and you want to target influencers on YouTube, the best thing is probably to look for children product reviews on YouTube. The highest performing videos within this category will pop up on your newsfeed, and you will be able to search through and find influencers that best fit the vibe and feel that you're trying to create on your dropshipping store. This does take a lot of time sometimes and a lot of market research on your own. It's also very important to remember that for every 100 influencers you reach out to, you're probably going to receive about a 20% conversion rate of confirmed campaigns. So be patient, it takes a lot of time, but the more research you do, the better you will be at targeting the right types of influencers. Another great way to find influencers for your campaigns is to look at similar accounts to respected individuals within your industry. This is where looking at mega influencers really comes into play. If you know that there are 3 or 4 different influencers with over 1 million followers within your industry niche, look at who they follow, look at who they engage with, look who they comment back to online. These individuals might have some level of a relationship with these mega influencers, so more than likely they have a level of credibility within their niche. The last way to find influencers within your niche is by social listening or social scrapers. Social scrapers are these external platforms that you can use in order to find influencers in a bulk amount on whatever social platform that you're looking at. Social listening kind of works the same way, where you're able to keep tabs on conversations circulating your industry and your niche, and so you can target the most followed or most engaged with individuals that you find on these platforms. I've linked a few of my favorite social scrapers and social listeners in the description below, so be sure to check them out. All right, we've gone over the types of influencers, the types of influencer marketing campaigns, how to find influencers, But how do we reach out to influencers? How do we make these influencers want to work with us and want to market our product? Typically, influencers can get upwards of 20 or 30 requests a day to market individuals' products. So how do you stand out among the crowd? Well, short answer, be a stalker. And I don't mean this lightly. I literally mean be a stalker. Find any and every way to get in this person's inbox, whether it's DM, email, Facebook message, it doesn't matter. You want to be very proactive in making this influencer feel like their personality is very important to your brand's image. But to keep it simple and so that you are not overwhelmed with keeping tabs on all these influencers you are trying to contact, I like to keep it in 4 simple steps. First and foremost, it's always important to reach out via email. In this email, you should have your original offer ready to go. Explain the campaign concept, why you'd like this influencer to be a part of it, and how the influencer will benefit from working with your brand. Then I like to go to the social media platform of choice that I'd like this influencer to market my store on, and I shoot them a DM. I'll say something like, hey, I just emailed you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this campaign concept that I have. Looking forward to hearing your response. Then you might wait a couple days if you haven't heard back, and I would send a follow-up email. The follow-up email can reiterate the campaign concept, why this influencer would benefit from working with you, and inquiring about any questions they may have about the campaign. Then I like to be the extra stalker and go straight to their public-facing social media. And I mean their comment section. I'll send them a quick comment saying, hey, I just emailed you and I really would love to work with you. Please check your DMs and please check your email. You can repeat this process as many times as possible, but typically most professional influencers should respond after the first email. Now keep in mind, just because an influencer responded to your email does not mean they're ready to work with you right away. It's going to take a little bit of persuasion and back and forth conversation until both you and the influencer feel completely comfortable with the partnership you're entering into. After all, you have to remember, when you're utilizing an influencer's face, likeness, and personality, that person is now attaching themselves to your brand and your brand image. So we need to make sure that both you and the influencer feel comfortable about the cohesive relationship you're creating. At this point, you have all of the information that you need to start executing successful influencer marketing campaigns. I cannot reiterate enough how exciting and fun it is to work with influencers and work with these different personalities and utilize their likeness to grow a brand and a community around your dropshipping store. The more rapport your customers have with you, the more likely they will be returning customers over time. Have you utilized influencer marketing before? What was your experience? Let me know in the comments, and I'm so excited to see what influencer marketing campaigns you come up with.